Welcome to Running Plays with Coach P. Wade. I am Coach P. Wade. And tonight I want to talk about a movie I recently watched. And not just a movie, this is not a movie review, but there were some great takeaways in the movie that I want to share. And the movie is Young Woman in the Sea, which is on Disney Plus if you have that app. Highly recommended. Highly recommend, especially for young women, to watch this movie. The movie, I'm going to kind of set the scene for it, but the movie is based in the 1900s, the early 1900s, the 1920s specifically, and it's about a young woman named Trudy Ederle. Make sure I say that right. Trudy Ederle. And Trudy got a case of the measles. And if you don't know, back then, like, having the measles was life threatening. It was a life threatening situation for her. Her family thought they were going to lose her, but Trudy survived. And when she survived, there were some challenges of her surviving having the measles back then. Challenges that she could potentially go deaf. If she's exposed to too much water and different things like that. So in the movie, Trudy was really drawn. This is how it just happened to be, to the water. And since she had the measles and was going to be prone to going deaf if she was underwater and different things like that, her parents and everyone else kept her away from the water for the younger years in her life. But she just had such a drive, and she was persistent. She did everything possible to make sure her dad took her out to learn how to swim. And eventually he did. And when she first began swimming, she was not a good swimmer. She had an older sister. Her older sister was a better swimmer than her, and her older sister wanted her to develop and become better. The other young ladies on her, I would say a team. It was a team of young women that were getting trained at the time. They were a lot better than Trudy, and people used to tell Trudy just give up because they would complete the laps. They would be so far ahead of Trudy. But she kept trying. Like, she was like the little engine that could. She would not give up. I think I can. I think I can. And over time, because of her being so adamant about wanting to be a swimmer, and not just wanting to be a swimmer, but wanting to be one of the best swimmers. She wanted to perform on the team that she was on. She wanted to be one of their top swimmers when they competed. I think they're one of the first teams they competed against maybe was Australia. And she wanted to become one of the better swimmers. And practice after practice, you watch her come in last, and they had her go doing work on the side. She had to go like fill the coal because she kept coming in last. But over time, you watch her put in the time outside of her normal practice hours. You watch her become so like involved and entrusted herself into the becoming the best swimmer. Like, she really wanted to be the best, so she practiced. She watched form. She listened to her coach, and she trained and she trained. And y'all, I kid you not, slowly but surely, she became the best swimmer on her team. When they when they swam against Australia, she wasn't in the lead at all throughout the whole race, but she built up her endurance so much to by the time they got to the end of that race, she ended number one. And that kind of like set the stage for what happened next in her life. And to give you all an idea of how things were back in the early 1900s, women weren't supposed to be athletes. They were supposed to be married off. They were supposed to be housewives. They weren't supposed to be athletes. So it was very frowned upon that she was even doing this and then excelling the way she was excelling. So Trudy had a different mindset, y'all. Like, no matter all the challenges that she went through as a child, no matter all the men in her life, including her dad, who told her she needs to sit on the sidelines, she needs to marry this guy, she needs to work at, I forgot, I wouldn't call it a bakery. It may have been a bakery, but she needs to do that. You need to do this. Trudy believed, and she had a vision for her life outside of the vision everyone else had. And it's so important even today to have your own vision, because I always say this: when you go to the eye doctor, my vision and your vision are going to be different. I can't see what your prescription is going to be different from mine. I can't see your vision. You can't see my vision. And that's the same thing in life. People couldn't see Trudy's vision that she had for herself. She knew She saw herself becoming one of the best swimmers. She saw herself becoming a legend. She saw herself becoming a trailblazer, but no one else could see that because it was her vision. And that's one of the lessons that I got from this movie, and I wanted to share with everyone else. Don't allow other people to stop you from doing things that you want to do and that you know you can accomplish because they can't see your vision. They're not going to be able to see it. You can break it down, you can slice it, you could try to tell them so many different ways of what you're going to accomplish and how you're going to do it. But because no one has your prescription, they can't see your vision. Because no one has the same prescription as you, it's blurry to them. They like, I don't really see that. And a lot of times, if you take what people are saying and you start believing in what they believe, a lot of times people don't get to achieve their vision because they allow people to stop it. So that's one thing. Trudy had a vision, y'all. And let me tell you what she ended up doing. And I'm going to go into some other lessons I got from this. What she did was not just become one of the top swimmers in America. She was the top swimmer in the world. So after she accomplished that, she wanted more. She wanted to achieve more. So there was no woman who had ever swam what they call the English Channel, which is like 21 miles from England to France. She said she gonna do it. And all y'all, everybody came out the woodworks telling her why she couldn't do it. She's not strong enough. She won't last. It takes hours because this is a 21-mile swim, which is very challenging even in today's world. I mean, this is the early 1900s. So they're letting her know all the reasons why she's not going to be able to do it. But Trudy said, I can. She believed in herself so much. Her family, they were her dad didn't really believe. Her sister and her mom were so supportive in that. I love that, having a good support system like that. But Trudy believed she would get across it. She believed she would go those 21 miles. So as she began to train and prepare, she got a trainer. The trainer was a male, and he never was able to accomplish it. So he didn't really want her to do it because then it would kind of make him smaller than what he was in life, right? Sometimes, and I'm not against men or people, but sometimes men do see women as inferior. And in this situation, that was the case. And I'm not saying every man is like that, but there are some that see a woman as not able. But she was going to prove them wrong. And as she went on her first attempt to cross the English Channel, he saw that she was about to do it. This is her trainer. So he did everything he could to stop her. He tried to touch her while she was in water, which would disqualify her. And then he eventually gave her a tea that had sleeping drugs in it to where she couldn't finish, to where it looked like she failed just like everybody says she would. But Trudy knew in her heart that that wasn't her true performance, so she came back. She was resilient. She bounced back like a rubber band, y'all. She was like, no, I know I can do this. And she came back, and she did it, y'all. She was the first woman to go the 21 miles, to cross the English Channel from England to France. It was 1926, and she showed us what is possible. And the thing I took away, and what I want everyone else to take away, is your mindset matters. Like, you have to be strong here, because everybody around her was telling her that it wasn't possible. They told her it's impossible. Everybody around her told her she's going to go deaf if she starts to become a swimmer and she gets into water. She didn't care. She knew in her heart this was her purpose. This is what she wanted to do. She knew what it would do for women. She became a trailblazer. She was an icon and a role model for so many young women back then. And even today, like, it inspired the heck out of me to watch her overcome measles, to watch her overcome everybody trying to tell her she can't. And she did. She did it in, I don't know how many hours it took, but she accomplished it. And it just made me realize that no matter what it is in life that you want to do, if you choose to be resilient, if you choose to overcome the setbacks, because she faced many, if you choose to not listen and have your own vision and not listen to others around you, you can achieve whatever you want to achieve in this lifetime. A lot of times we don't achieve what we're supposed to because we allow people to place lids on us. We allow them to dampen our dreams and our visions. But I'm here to tell you to write your vision and make it plain. Whatever you see for your life, write it down and go after it every single day for the rest of your life. And no matter how hard it gets, no matter when you come to obstacles, challenges, setbacks, take those as lessons and keep going. Grow through those things. Don't allow those things to say, because this happened, I can no longer move on. Because something got in front of me, I can no longer go around it. No, figure out a way. Figure out a way and still achieve it no matter what. And that's what I got from this movie. It was a great movie as far as entertainment, but it was so many lessons in there. And I really loved it because she showed us anything is possible. And now me, I believe anything is possible. Y'all, I wrote my first book this year. I wrote my first book, and it all started with a vision. It all started with an idea and a thought, and I think I can. Even though I knew there's a lot of people around me that may not see me as qualified. They may not see me as successful because I wrote a book on success. They may not see me as that. They may not see me as a person that could teach those principles. But I said, I know my purpose. I know what I'm capable of. So I'm going to go out and accomplish this, period. No matter what. Nobody's putting a cap on me. Nobody's putting a ceiling on me. No, I'm going to break through. No matter what. And that's what I want you all to do in your life. Whatever it is that you want to accomplish. And let me say this. Not everyone has to be an entrepreneur. This ain't about that. There are things that you want to achieve in your life. And you can. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to have challenges. You're going to have L's, which I call lessons. And we're not going to call those losses. Those losses are lessons. But as long as you keep going, as long as you're persistent, as long as you're willing to overcome the challenges and setbacks and see those as setups, you can do anything that you put your mind to. And I know we hear those things through our life, but it's really real. And I just want you all to understand that. So as we go into this next year, as we are headed into 2025 in less than 40 days, I want you to think about, what is your vision for your life? What does it look like? What does it look like career-wise? What does it look like relationship-wise? What does it look like health-wise, financial-wise? Write your vision and make it plain. And once you do that, you're going to be able to swim across the English Channel. Whatever your English Channel is, you get it? You're going to be able to overcome and get through it without drowning. You're going to be able to overcome and do it when they don't think you're strong enough. You're going to be able to get through it and make it happen and accomplish it. And I want that for you because I know you're able to do it, but you're going to have to get right in here, believe it in here, and know your vision here and go through it, right? So that's all I wanted to come by tonight and talk about was this movie because it really blew my mind. There was so many takeaways, and I think everybody should watch it, and I think you'll be inspired. And that's all I got tonight, y'all. Young Woman in the Sea, okay? I almost forgot the name of the movie, but Young Woman in the Sea. It is a great movie, highly recommended, and that's it, y'all. Please, if you haven't already, please like, please share, please subscribe. If you're enjoying my content, follow me on TikTok at Coach P Wade, on Instagram at Coach P Wade, and also lock in with me on my website, CoachPWade.com. And also, if you haven't already got it, I Rise at 5 is available on Amazon. So, y'all, that's all I got. Wishing you the best on your journey as we head into 2025. We are getting prepared. We are on the runway. You can do anything that you want to do. And remember, the word impossible is really just 2 words that says I'm possible. Y'all, you got this. Coach P Wade, I'm out.